Hi, I've come back to make another video. I enjoyed the one I did last so much, I thought I'd do another one. So in the last one we talked about trees and how they draw all the elements together: earth, air, fire and water. I think we should talk more about the elements because they're so important to us, and our ancestors almost worshipped the elements in certain ways because they realised how important it was to be close to them and understand them. I think what we'll do is we'll deal with each one individually, just in a short video, and by the sound in the background, if you can hear it, this one is going to be about water. We're going to go on a little journey from where water starts. We'll talk about probably the water cycle and how it parallels with our modern lives and echoes some of the things that we tend to forget. This little stream here is fed by that font. Now that font probably began life as a raindrop that fell way up in the hills many years ago. It's filtered its way all the way down to this point, runs out of that little font over there, down into the stream and carries on its journey. This has got a kind of strange meaning in its own way because it is the start of the water cycle, almost the birth of it, and we'll follow this journey along the way and we'll make some observations. On its way, our stream faced many different challenges. It overcame many obstacles. It may have met other streams and formed rivers like this one. When rivers are in this state, I always think they're like teenagers because they're unpredictable and almost moody, changeable, and you never really know what to expect from them. From the moment our river was formed as a droplet that was evaporated into the sky, from that moment it started to change. It started to take on new characteristics. Water, when it is evaporated, absorbs a certain amount of carbon dioxide, which makes it a very dilute acid, and when it finally falls in the mountains and percolates its way through the ground, that acid can actually dissolve rocks and make a subterranean landscape. So already our water has taken on a characteristic that will change the world around it. And indeed, we need this water. We need it for so many different things. It will refresh us, it will grow our crops, it will wash our clothes, it will transport us. So many different things must happen with water before it finally reaches its destination. But when you do this, just think about what has happened to get it to this point. And there's not such a thing, really, as fresh water, because the water that you are using and you see around you is constantly recycled through the water cycle. So the water really that you are drinking is not fresh water, but water that's millions, possibly even billions of years old. Now that's quite fantastic. So here we are, we're an adolescent teenager of a river has to finally grow up and be an adult. When rivers get this big, they're never going to be so fertile, powerful and productive. While I'm here now, there are eagles, herons, otters, fish, crayfish, you name it, it's here. This is where a river produces most of its life, but it also carries a lot with it. On its journey it's picked up various things through floods, through the terrain it's been, and that can't last forever. And we'll move on to that in the next phase of the river. As a river completes its journey, they often form estuaries or lagoons like this one. Very shallow, very slow moving, and sadly, usually quite polluted, because a river has taken a journey and has brought a lot of stuff with it. And in many ways, a lot of it is left here. It would have been really easy to film this on a sunny day, but it has a little sorrowful twist to it today, because this scene really is somewhat reminiscent of old age. An estuary is often a tidal, and they meet the sea, and there is a hint there of what is about to happen. And here we have it in miniature, the place where a river actually meets the sea. Its journey complete, and it meets an immovable force as it has done for many, many millions of years, where a river joins something much bigger than itself, where it becomes part of a force on Earth that generates weather and life. And so the story of our river reached its end. Or did it? Our river joined the magnificent sea that you can see behind me. It joined the oceans and all the other rivers that flowed into it, the millions of rivers with all their own stories. And the sea, as we know, is the creator of life. Science tells us that the earliest of life came from the sea. So is the story really over? Maybe it's not. Our river flowed into the great expanse, and somewhere out there where the weather exists and weather formations take place, water is drawn up to the heavens in an almost religious type way, and is brought back to the land where it falls as rain. And the whole story starts all over again. So maybe just think where you are on that river and how you can enjoy that and your journey down that river. Thank you for watching me once again. It's been an absolute pleasure.